Hi, I'm Matt, and this is the Vaughn 7600, 7800 foam core goalie stick review. The reason I say it's a 76 and 7800 is because the sticks never actually changed besides the graphics between the two. And I'm pretty sure even the newer models for the foam cores, they're all the same. When I bought this stick, I was very skeptical of how it was going to perform, if I'd like it or not. One reason was because it was $30. The other reason is because I never used a Vaughn stick before and not many retailers were carrying them. That said, it quickly became my favorite stick to use. I find this one a bit of a mix between the Torspo and the Warrior Swagger stick I reviewed earlier. It's definitely held its firmness compared to the Torspo, and it just feels like a more balanced and better playing stick than the Warrior. Shots on it don't vibrate enough as much, and everything about it just feels slightly better. The one thing that I have to complain about this stick is the paint job on it is absolutely terrible, and as you can see, it is this crazy orange paint job, and right away it was completely chipping everywhere. But the good part of that is when it chips, you can see what it's made of. Now, my problem with the Torspo that I did in one of my older reviews is it was very similar to the Simmons, and they got soft pretty quickly on the blade and just the stick itself. They play great when they're brand new, but after a while they get too soft to use almost, and you lose your shooting abilities in it. The Warrior so far, I've had no issues with and stayed pretty solid, but it always just felt slightly awkward to me. This stick is like a perfect in-between. It doesn't feel as awkward and like thick, and like I said, the vibrations are better on this than they are the Warrior, but at the same time the playability is just as good as the Simmons and the Torspo, and this is the second best stick I've ever shot. The only difference or adjustment I would like to make is I would like the Miller curve that I have on my Simmons stick on this, but that said, I can still shoot and pass with the stick pretty well. The thing I really like about this stick is the construction of it. As I showed you, it has carbon lining through it, which just the reinforcement. It also has reinforcement on the blade right here, just like the Warrior does, something the Torspo and the Simmons is missing. And as you can see, the reinforcement in the paddle there, and I really wish that these weren't painted because the bare sticks look great. You can see them on Total Hockey, but for some reason my local store decided to have crazy colors, and like I said, the paint chips are absolutely terrible. Now, I've used this stick for about 6 months now, and it's held up very well. The blade is still perfectly intact, just the paint missing and the original tape missing. And I showed on the paddle itself, there are dents on it, up on the top here, just from pucks hitting it. And like in the paddle here, where the paint's chipping, there's some good ones on the handle as well. But the stick is held up very, very well. One of the better sticks I've ever used in terms of durability. The blade's still stiff, the paddle's still stiff, so when you go shoot, it doesn't flex too much and kind of screw up your shot like the Simmons and Torspo do after a while. And by after a while, I mean about 4 months. This has about 6, and I've had no issues with it whatsoever, and everything is great on that, and it plays like it was brand new. The only problem I have with this stick, like I mentioned earlier, and it's the same problem with the Torspo, is the paint on it is absolutely terrible. As you can see, it's coming off everywhere, and I had brand new Vaughn gloves I've been wearing with this, and the inside palm is orange, and just all the nylon's orange and rubs off on your pads really easily. Something I just find really annoying when I've seen versions of this stick that are just bare, where you can see the nice reinforcement all across the paddle, and it looks fantastic, and you don't have to worry about the paint rubbing off or anything like that. So I don't really have much to say about this stick besides of how much I like it. Just the paint's the only issue I've had with it. I would prefer a slightly different curve, like the Miller curve my Simmons has, just because that helped me get the puck up earlier. But this one I found was great for passing and stick handling, just moving the puck. Well, the Simmons one I could clear it out of the zone, like off the glass. This one I can't quite do that. But again, I'm not the best puck handler either. But I found the Miller one just to be slightly better for me. And with that said, Vaughn is one of the newer manufacturers to the stick business, I would say. They're not the big brand sticks that everyone goes to, and they've only been in the NHL for a couple of years. With that said, I would absolutely recommend one of these, especially if you can get the Bear one, just so you don't have the paint issues I'm having. But even for $120, I think it's absolutely worth it. Compared to the Warrior Swagger I have, I would recommend this Vaughn over that one. And even compared to the cheaper $80 Simmons, I'd recommend this one more as well, just because it's lasted longer in the terms of it hasn't broken down yet, it's not flexible, it's still solid, it feels like the very first time I used it. So I'd absolutely recommend this stick to anyone. If you're out in the market for them, make sure you check out for Vaughn. I know the 7800 series was on clearance. A couple places you could get them for a good price. But yeah, once again, Vaughn 7600, 7800 goalie stick, absolutely recommend it. Go check it out.